Hello, and a very warm welcome to all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School. In the exciting, fast paced world of hospitality, one of the most valuable skills you can possibly master is strategic sales. So today, we're going to dive deep into the world of MICE prospecting. And let me tell you, this is a critical area that will really help define your success.
Think of this explainer as your inside guide. It's all about practical, real-world knowledge that you can actually use in hotel operations. We're here to help you build those essential professional skills. So with that, let's jump right in.
All right, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the big picture, the philosophy behind MICE prospecting. Then we'll break down the two main types of clients you'll be working with. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, the practical skills of personalization and networking. And finally, we'll wrap it all up by focusing on the ultimate goal, which is building those lasting partnerships.
Okay, so first things first. We need to establish the foundation. You see, prospecting in the MICE sector isn't just about making a bunch of calls and hoping for the best. No, it's a deliberate, strategic activity, and it requires a completely different mindset. And this slide, it perfectly illustrates the core difference. Over on the left, you've got that spray and pray approach, just sending out generic, mass emails that, let's be honest, usually get ignored. In the MICE world, that's meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. That approach just screams that you haven't done your homework. Our focus needs to be on the right, a targeted, relationship-driven approach that proves you understand the client and that you're starting a real, relevant conversation.
And that brings us to the number one foundational rule. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with research. Before you even think about picking up the phone or writing an email, you have to understand the client's company, their industry, their event history, even their strategic goals. This isn't just a friendly suggestion. It is the absolute non-negotiable first step to building any kind of credibility. Okay, let's keep building on this and see how it applies to our key players. In the MICE universe, you're primarily going to be dealing with two very distinct types of clients, corporate and association. And trust me, knowing the difference is absolutely fundamental to your success. This table really breaks it all down perfectly. See, on the corporate side, things move faster. You're looking at shorter sales cycles for things like company trainings or new product launches. Your job is to pinpoint that key internal decision maker. Now, with associations, it's a whole different ballgame. They're planning these huge conferences years in advance, and decisions are often made by committees, or what we call professional conference organizers, or PCOs. This means a much, much longer sales cycle that really demands patience and persistent relationship building. So when you're working with those corporate clients, these are the key job titles you need to have on your radar. For example, an HR manager might be in charge of a big company-wide training event, while the marketing manager is planning a huge product launch. And never underestimate the executive assistant. They often have a ton of influence over scheduling and venue choices for leadership meetings. Knowing who's who is how you focus your energy where it counts. Now, for the association market, you really have to shift your mindset, because decisions can be made years out and are often handled by entire committees. You have to be ready to play the long game. It's all about consistent, valuable communication that slowly builds trust over time without ever being pushy. Patience isn't just a virtue here, it's a requirement. Okay, so we figured out who we're talking to. Now let's dive into how we talk to them. This brings us to what is easily the most powerful tool in your entire prospecting toolkit, personalization.
This right here is your three-step formula for cutting through all the noise. Step 1, do that deep dive research we've been talking about. Step 2, find a hook, something specific like a recent company expansion, a new product they just launched, or their big upcoming annual congress. And step 3, you use that hook to craft your message. Referencing that milestone immediately shows you've done your homework, and it makes your outreach instantly relevant and so much more credible.
So you know how to craft that perfect message, but where do you actually deliver it? Let's move on and explore the different channels you'll be using to connect with all these prospects.
You know, in our digital world, you should never, ever underestimate the power of a simple handshake. Trade shows, industry events, and forums are just invaluable. They let you build genuine rapport in a way that an email or a phone call simply can't. A quick face-to-face conversation can give you incredible insight into what a client really needs, and more importantly, it creates a lasting impression that truly sets you apart from the competition.
But of course, digital tools are your essential partners in all of this. Platforms like LinkedIn are fantastic for that initial research phase. You can identify the right people, understand what their roles are, and stay up to date on company news. And things like industry databases and event directories can give you a huge head start on who is planning what and when.
And that brings us to our final and maybe the most important section. We've talked about the philosophy, the players, and the tactics, but what is the ultimate endgame here? What is the true goal of all this hard work?
This one sentence pretty much captures the entire philosophy we've been discussing. I want you to remember this. Success is not measured by how many emails you send. It's measured by the quality of the connections you build. One thoughtful, well-researched conversation will always be worth more than 1,000 generic messages.
Ultimately, your real objective isn't just to book one event. It's to position yourself and your hotel as a trusted partner for the long term. When a client sees you as a reliable expert who truly understands their needs, they won't just book with you once. They'll come back again and again. And that is how you build a sustainable and successful career in this industry. So let's end with this thought. Every strategy, every tactic we've talked about today, it all boils down to one thing: building strong professional relationships. As you launch your careers, this is your primary mission. So my question to you is, what's the first one you're going to build? Thank you for your time.